Alright. Ah, this episode sucks. Oh my God. Okay, I just spent like 10 minutes writing notes because um this is the worst episode. It's just so frustrating to watch. Like it's almost like they didn't even I knew they were slowly sprinkling little mistakes and things that I didn't like throughout this entire show, but this episode is just terrible in my opinion. So I I almost want to rant, but I don't want to seem disingenuous. But anyway, so I'll start with the positives, and so I'll say this: most of this review is going to be super negative, and so if you want to hear the positive things I have to say, you should watch my previous episodes that I did for the show. And so I'll just say that let's see, I have notes here. Yeah, as per usual, the filmmaking is good and the set design is good, and the basic filmmaking elements are all good, so no problems there. It's fine. The best part of the episode was Jesse coming in to save them, and the Seraphites in the forest. How they So we'll start with Jesse. Yeah, that entire scene was pretty cool, where Ellie and Dina are fighting stalkers and they get in trouble and Jesse comes in. You see his shadow, which had pretty good lighting. And so you're not quite sure who it is. Is it Tommy? Is it Jesse? And they reveal that it's Jesse. And that's a pretty cool scene. And he saves them because they are useless. Useless characters that don't know how to fight. Okay, I'll talk about that later. It's so frustrating to watch. Anyway, so yeah, what I've been saying every single episode is that people that know the game, and I don't care what your opinion is of the game, whether you like the game or you don't, I don't like the game, but at least the gameplay is pretty cool. Um, the story I don't like. If you know the game, then watching this show is so irritating because they change a bunch of stuff and they make the characters worse. But anyway, I'll talk about that later. And then yeah, so that scene in the Seraphite, the forest, where the Seraphites are butchering this guy, some sausages comes out of his stomach again. I think they do use sausages and stuff to make the gut, the stomach, the gut flying out of the person's stomach and things like that. They actually use sausages or something, probably other things like rope, probably. Um, but it's from a distance, so you can't really tell, which is pretty good filmmaking. And that scene was pretty cool with the torches. It lights up the entire scene, and it's nice. It's good. And then so instead of so that's with Jesse, Ellie, and Dina, and so Jesse and Dina run off, and I assume they make it to the theater, and Ellie then decides to go to the WLF building to try and find Nora. So all that was pretty shot really well, and that's the end of the positives. So let's start with the negatives because I have a lot. Okay, ranting time. First, okay, my notes are like brief and not necessarily good grammatical English. So I'll read the note and then I'll explain it properly. First, there's a big pacing issue with this episode because they go through all of day two, which takes ages in the game, and they only do it in 30 minutes. Yeah. So, yeah. This episode, they open up and they waste 10 minutes. I actually paused. I was watching with my younger brother, and I paused the episode to see how much time they spent in the theater um, talking about triangulation and Dina doing a bunch of scribbles showing how they can get in there and do stuff. That should have been prepared. We can have some kind of imagination, okay? So instead of wasting 10 minutes talking and all sorts of different conversations or dialogue they were having and how they're gonna get there. It could have easily been 2 minutes or 5 minutes maybe, but instead they spent 10 minutes in that theater talking, and then Ellie goes and plays on the guitar for 2 seconds and then leaves. What was that? I don't understand. What was they wasting time? Because day two is it's long. It's not as long as Abby day two, but it's long, and it usually takes like the first time you play it. I I I have tried some speed running tactics, so it doesn't take that long for me now. But the first time I played it, it probably took like, I don't know, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, something like that. So it's ridiculous the amount of stuff that they cut out of this episode. If they have the idea to cover the entire day two in one episode, then they shouldn't spend 10 minutes talking at the beginning of what we're gonna do. And ooh, they should say, okay, right, we're doing this, Ellie, but let's go. Dina should be like, okay, I have a plan. Get your shit, let's go. But instead, like, blah, 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 and then instead they spend time wasting time. Then Ellie plays on the guitar, which I don't understand because in the game she plays on the guitar, and then they go into a flashback with Joel, but they don't do that. They're saving that for the next episode. Okay, whatever. That doesn't really matter, but that was a waste of time. Why do it? Why play on the guitar? Go. You're trying to go revenge Joel, avenge Joel. No, but she just okay. What else is there? So that's the other thing. She doesn't care anymore. She's more lovey-dovey and wants to there's no uh emotion on her face that indicates that she wants to go for revenge, considering what happened to Joel. So yeah, in the game, Ellie wants revenge, and so they kind of reverse roles where in the game Ellie's kind of the leader and Dina's kind of that interesting side character. Um, and so every single time there's a decision to make, Dina is the one that's trying to tell Ellie what to do, and my hand, okay, my camera's there, and I'm indicating stuff with my hand, but you can't see it. Anyway, um, yeah, so they reversed that where Dina is now the one that seems to be in charge, and she has the leadership role in that relationship. Ugh. And they waste more time when they come out of the theater talking about it. Like, does Dina want to stay or does she want to go back? Which she should go back because she's pregnant. Why didn't she just go back? She's pregnant. She can't do. She shouldn't be able to. Or it's early stages of pregnancy, but why she's throwing up all the time? So what if you're in the middle of action and you feel sick all of a sudden? You have to vomit. So that's silly. And she does stay back in the game, I think. She stays in the theater. Yeah, she's lying there in the theater, sick because she's pregnant. And when Ellie comes, fixes the electricity or whatever, there's a scene in the game, maybe I got the timing of it wrong, where Dina's once again vomiting. So they made her character more active and interesting, but it's still wasting time. Come on, chop, chop, chop. I don't get it. But they should have broken it up in at least 2 episodes if they're going to be this slow and this nitpicking with dialogue that's more romantic and casual orientated. They should have just separated this entire day into 2 episodes, but it seems like they finished with day two, which is ridiculous. Anyway. The first 10 minutes are pretty useless dialogue at the beginning. Yeah, I said that. Yeah, they should be getting ready from the first minute and then go. So secondly, this whole thing is about Ellie getting revenge, but apparently, yeah, I said that. But apparently it's not that urgent anymore, because you know when you go to the aerial store. Yeah. Okay. They start talking about yeah. the logic. Oh yeah, so the logic of things. This is the most annoying part of the episode is the they can't it's almost like they can't decide what the logic is with what they are doing. For example, when they go to that area with the stalkers, first of all, it's very convenient because magically Dina has bolt cutters. So she uses the bolt cutters and can then go through the fence. Wow, that's amazing. You can't do that in the game because in the game you try and open the door and you can't open it because you have to go around or find a different way. But in the show they just have bolt cutters. That's convenient. So they have bolt cutters. She has enough room for bolt cutters. Why doesn't she get the fucking shotgun for the for the stalkers? I don't understand this. Okay. Yes, they don't know how to handle a stalker and they keep calling it like magical creatures from Harry Potter or some shit. It's a stalker. They know it. It's from the first game. It's from the first game, but they didn't experience that in the show, so they are pretending that they don't know what a stalker is. And they don't know how to kill it. Why do they have a 9mm gun? Instead, they should have a shotgun, which they apparently have room for because Dina has bolt cutters, which is huge. It's like this big, a bolt cutter. They should pudre madre. Anyway, they should have a shotgun so that they can kill the clicker. But before, I got a text. But before, they go into that room. They're talking all the time, which is annoying because in the game they don't talk that much. When you enter a scary room like that and you want to be quiet. You don't want to be talking about love. It's not important. It's not important to talk about love. I keep looking at my OBS monitor rather than my camera. They don't they shouldn't be talking about, "Oh, do you love me? Oh no." Do you actually love me? Yeah, I love you, yeah. It doesn't matter. Focus on the actual thing that you're there for. And you're there for, I don't even know where they went. At first I couldn't tell with the set design what room that was. Anyway, before they enter, Dina says, "Do not use your gun. Ellie, don't use your gun, blah blah blah." The two options that you have is killing infected quietly, or you can run away. And what does Ellie do? Start shooting. So where's the logic then? Anyway, I don't know if people can hear me. Maybe that was the text my brother telling me that he can hear me. Um, Whatever. There's no logic, and then Jesse has to save their ass because they reduced the character. This is the other thing. Uh, no consistency with logic. Yeah, I want to go in order of my notes. How they want to handle the infected, like Dina told her to be only using her gun if she needs it, but then goes out. That goes out the window real quick. Yep. Then the fact that they don't know what to stalk yet, it's annoying. Yeah. Just use the damn shotgun like Jesse did, but they don't have one yet. Also, Dina seems to be the leader now. Let me scroll down, which is just not in the game at all. Yeah, it's not in the game at all. Ellie is more of the leader, boss. She knows what she's doing. That's the other thing. So, let's be clear. Joel, you remember Joel? We presume in the game that Joel teaches Ellie how to be a badass motherfucker. Okay? She's a badass. Otherwise, how could she survive the entire second game? She can't survive the entire second game because otherwise she would have died. Because there's hundreds, if not thousands, of people that she needs to kill on the way to her revenge quest. So, why can't she do anything in this game? In this show? In the show, she can't do anything. She goes to that stalker area. The stalker's there. They have a conversation about it, which is stupid. They can hear that's like I don't know. They're smart. They say they're smart, so they're not dumb like clickers. They are smart. So why are they having a conversation? They should already know. It would have been easier if the writers just allowed them to have knowledge of how to kill a stalker, and that way they would grab their shotgun, boom, motherfucker, and that's it. Sua, koniec. Sorry. Um, my Russian slips out when I get angry. Anyway, I'm not angry. It's frustrating to watch the show. Suka bled muka. Sorry. Okay. Um, I am Russian, by the way. Um, so the problem is she has a 9mm, but she can't shoot. Why can't she shoot? If you're gonna use a gun, I can accept one or two misses, but she misses there in the stalker area, and then later on with Nora, when she's chasing Nora, which was a decently good scene, uh, they changed smaller details, where they skip a section as per usual because they skip a bunch of shit in this episode. This entire day is like 3 hours long, and they skip a lot. But anyway, they also skip in that section with Nora where there's clickers and humans before you get to the door to eventually catch Nora. They skip that. But anyway, Nora's running. She enters an elevator, and Ellie tries to shoot her, and she misses twice, I think. At least once she misses her shot. Why is she missing her shot? She should have either not shot because she's running and it's hard to hit a moving target. So either don't shoot, or if you're gonna shoot, uh, hit the target. At least hit the stalkers. I can understand not hitting not hitting Nora because she is moving, so it's hard to, yeah. But you should be able to hit a stalker. But she seems to miss, and then the stalker launches at her, just like episode 1, season 2, episode 1. Um, yeah, I just don't get the inconsistency of her abilities. She knows how to box, but she doesn't know how to shoot. I don't get it. I don't think she's been successful in taking down enemies, besides the one person, last episode. Yeah, in a TV station, she takes down a guy, which didn't look that great, but it's fine. Um, what else does she do? And she takes out Nora, which she's already, it just makes her look weak because the only person that she can take out is a chick that isn't now going to be infected. She's coughing, she can't breathe because she's in the spores. So she's taking out a person to get information from Nora. She's taking her out when she's already weak. So it doesn't make Ellie look strong at all. So they made her entire character just look weak. It's kind of pathetic and irritating to watch. Because Game Ellie is a badass and she knows what she's doing. And obviously, maybe it's harder to portray that in this. No, just make her good at stuff. Why is she bad at everything in terms of physical combat? Ugh, it's so irritating just to talk about it. Yeah. Um, they changed Ellie's character even more by making her look completely useless with infected, yes. Making her look weaker, blah blah blah. When she manages to do anything, yeah, she beats up Nora. She's already infected because of the spores, so why they're making her look bad when obviously in the game she was trained by Joel, yeah, which made her into a badass, but apparently in the show she can't even aim and shoot a gun properly multiple times, including when she tries to kill Nora. Yeah, I just said that. The ending sucks, yeah. Having them, what is it? Oh, stop. I misspelled it. Having them stop Ellie coming back, with blood all over her. They don't stop, they skip. That's the word I'm supposed to write there. I say spike instead of skip. Anyway, in the game, Ellie comes back with blood all over her, and then that's the end of day 2. And basically, Ellie reveals to Dina where Abby would be, I think. I don't remember the details of that scene, but instead they cut that and they enter a flashback of Joel. Yeah, and then cut to black, which is not how you do a good ending or cliffhanger for a show. Instead, they should have ended it like the game. Yeah. So this entire episode is focused on day two. So why in the world would you begin a flashback with Joel and Ellie from, I don't know, 2 years ago, 4 years ago, something like that, 3 years ago? It's something like that. And you begin the flashback, and that's supposed to be the kind of cliffhanger, as if it's like something revealing and amazing. Again, for people that watch the show, it's gonna be like, oh, Joel, oh my God, Joel again. Oh, I'm disappointed because they ended the show. Oh no. But for people that play the game, we know there's flashbacks. But why would you start a flashback at the end of the episode? It's almost like they were trying to do a cliffhanger, but it's not really a cliffhanger because we know it's gonna happen for gamers. And so, instead, I would have suggested at least to have the ending of the episode, the ending of day two. The ending of day two is when Ellie comes back, and you can see in her face that she looks traumatized, actually, because she's not really used to torturing people like that, where she grabs the pipe and she beats the shit out of Nora a few times. And so Nora gives her the information. And so in that cutscene, she has blood on her face, and she kind of looks, yeah, like she's been through it. And that's a good scene in the game, and they get rid of that. Instead, they cut to Ellie sleeping, and I thought she was sleeping in the theater, but no, it's a flashback with Ellie and Joel. I don't get it. I don't understand that. What else is there to complain about? That's all I wrote in my notes, so I guess that's it. Oh, this is already 22 minutes. Oh no, it's gonna take an hour to edit this. Yeah, very disappointing episode. People are gonna be like, but the filmmaking was good. I don't care. I do care. Uh, I expected though, the budget for each episode is like $1 million. I expect good filmmaking, especially with Craig Mazin, who was a good filmmaker, but he's given material that is shit, and so it's annoying. It's like you have good filmmakers, good people that do really good set designs, good location scouts, good everything, uh, but Neil messed up the story. So now, instead of just doing the show just like the game, maybe changing a few things to make it more logical and maybe a little bit more intense, maybe a little bit more tension for a TV show, instead of doing that, they are changing a bunch of stuff, skipping a bunch of stuff, having no logic. I don't know whose fault is that. Is that the writer's fault? Is that Neil Druckmann's fault? I don't know who's making these decisions. But why is the filmmaking good, but the actual logic and things that happen in the actual show are just so frustrating to watch? And it's not just me. Anyway, did my voice just crack? That's embarrassing. Anyway, um, I think that's pretty much it. What else was there? Yeah, just why are they talking so much when they are actually in the room? I already said this, but why are they talking so much when you're in the room with infected? They can hear you. So why are they talking about um strategy afterwards? Dean already told you what to do. So either, which didn't make sense. Why would you the most effective way to kill a stalker is by grabbing a shotgun and killing it with a shotgun. You can't really choke out a stalker from what I understand. You mash, you either do one-to-one combat where you press on the PlayStation it's X, not X, square to attack, and also dodge, L1, dodge. That would be one-to-one how you fight a stalker without a gun. And so you punch it, and then you dodge when it swings at you, or you grab a gun, preferably a shotgun, and you kill it. That's it. That's how you kill it. That's what Dina should have said to Ellie, but instead it's like, oh, don't grab a gun. Uh, I already explained it. And then Ellie does the exact opposite of what Dina said. Okay, anyway. Um, and then I guess people will make excuses and say, is to create tension, but you can create tension a different way. Like if she has a shotgun, you can have a scene where she's the stalker is kind of literally stalking it, Ellie, and maybe you do a quick pan shot or something, and all of a sudden the stalker is like right there, so it's like a jump scare. Then Ellie has to really quickly hit the shot, and that will create a decent amount of tension. You don't have to necessarily have the stalker bounce onto her like a football player or something. And then she's struggling, and Jesse has to save. So the man has to save these strong, independent women, apparently. Oh God, it's so annoying. Okay, I'm done. I think there's something else I'm missing, but I can't be bothered. What else is there? So that happens. They waste time at the beginning. They go to the stalkers. Jesse helps. Then they go to the Seraphites. The Seraphites kill a guy. Then Jesse and yeah, that's it. Jesse and Dina leave to the theater, I presume. Then Ellie kills Nora. Then then we go to flashback. That's the episode. Terrible. Ugh. Yeah, I got nothing else to say. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.